What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. What's up? It's Thursday. I'm here. New time. A little later than expected for a few reasons. One was I was planning to make a recipe today with all the sort of leftovers that I had for the week because I've been cooking a ton here. If you've seen, I've been posting some of that stuff on my story. And I checked the arugula yesterday and it looked great. And then today it was like really brown. So I spent a while digging through it. But look, it's great. We have a great little bowl of arugula. But yeah, if your first time joining, because we're at a new time here, I just love to hang out on Thursday afternoon, cook. This is a brand new recipe. I'm coming up with it sort of like as we go. Still haven't really fully developed it, but that's sort of the fun of it. Today, I'm going to do an arugula pesto with, like I said, a few things that I had around, leftovers from things that I cooked this week. And I'm going to top that with a salmon, and I'm going to dust the salmon with a berbere spice, which is an Ethiopian spice blend. It's really good. It has chili peppers in it and some garlic powder, some ajwain seed, if you're familiar with that, a lot of coriander. I love using it, especially paired with butter. It works really, really well. We're gonna start with the, what's up, son of a pizza man? Welcome back. We're gonna start with the pesto. And I have this arugula that I said I picked through for a while. There you go. And the next thing I'm going to put in here is I'm using a Pavino cheese. And the key to this is normally, obviously, it would be like a Parmesan in pesto. You want something that's hard, a hard cheese, and something that's kind of like nutty flavor. Especially because we're mixing this with salmon as opposed to anything else. So, you know, a lot of people, there's kind of like a stigma of cheese with fish, and I agree with it to some extent. But like most sort of food rules, I think there's flexibility there. And as long as you're using a more nutty cheese that's not really going to melt that much, that's the key to this. What's up, Rich? Thanks for calling me out for being late. You know, it's so funny. The first like 4 or 5 times I streamed, I didn't announce it because I was still trying to like learn before I really got going. So that way, once I started announcing it, I wouldn't have mistakes. But it feels like almost every week when I'm trying to set stuff up, there's an issue. You know, I'm back to the audio might sound a little weird today because I'm using an older microphone that I used to use because my nice new lapel mic sounded terrible today for some reason, and I couldn't find out why. Oh, I know you're kidding, but I like to. I mean, what else am I going to talk about? I'm going to explain some of the back end stuff because I find it interesting. You know, it's part of the fun of streaming has been figuring out all that stuff. So I don't know. I think it's interesting each time I upgrade my equipment and try something different, but inevitably doesn't really work out the way I want to. Let's see. That should be good. This arugula is misleadingly bulky, so I don't want to add too much of the other ingredients so that it's still kind of arugula forward. I have some almonds here that I'm going to throw in. And these are Marcona almonds, which are usually more of like a snacking almond than to use in a recipe. But we tend to buy these and we love snacking on them, but then they kind of sit in the cabinet for a while. Like we'll use them more in a like a cheese board as opposed to like an everyday snack. So I figured it'd be fun to use in a recipe so that I actually use them up. And you can see they're like pretty oily, which is going to be nice for the pesto. I'm just getting a garlic clove here. I'll put that in. And that's it for the pesto. I'm going to add some more oil first and salt. Rich, that color barrier has always been there. You're just not observant. You know, I was considering though having my like a more vertical thing on the whole left side and then having like the close-up on the right. Maybe if I got my microphone set up earlier, I would have been able to play around with that. So this is going to be loud because I have the microphone here. Hey, Sarah yet. This is an arugula pesto that I'm working on here. It's nice that the noise suppression actually blocks that a little bit. I warned you it was going to be loud, especially because I'm using the older microphone. Got to do one more, close your ears. I chose arugula because I was doing basically trying to make a meal out of a bunch of stuff I had in the fridge already this week. Kind of different from some of my normal weeks, but I think it's fun to, like, people want to know how to just cook from their fridge. And to me, it's easy to be like, we have one like flavorful herb or green. Why don't I use it in place of another flavor for a green? And you really can switch it up, whatever you like. And as long as you're tasting as you go and you like the things you're putting in, it's probably going to come out good. Try to suppress the noise a little bit here. It's not going to work though. Bye. Alright, I'm keeping this a little chunky anyways, but I think I have to do one more. I'm going to put this right into the bowl that the pasta is going to go into. Yeah, we're just experimenting here, kind of seeing what happens. But like I said, as long as you are paying attention as you go and putting things that you like in, I don't think you can really go wrong. So this looks great already. A little chunky. Thank you, Christian, for that. Welcome. We've been waiting for you. Okay, this doesn't need to be so high up anymore. Sometimes you gotta have chunks. So, all right, I have a pan here that I'm heating up. And I'm also gonna drop the pasta in. I thought this would be fun to use fusilli. I debated between this and penne. Having trouble getting this out of the bag. I would have taken that out of the bag beforehand if I wasn't having all those microphone issues. All right, that'll just take 7 to 8 minutes. Maybe a little longer. So I have this piece of salmon here, and I'm not sure if people are like comfortable with cooking fish at home or not. Since I'm in the Midwest now, we buy frozen fish usually, especially because I'm not making trips to the grocery store. But obviously back in New England, I used to. Yeah, thanks, Alex. Back in New England, I used to, go to the fish market or the fish counter and get it. But I'm doing skin on salmon here. And the key with cooking the skin on salmon is you cook it most of the time on the skin side. And that way you'll get a nice crispy skin. And I have the Burberry spice here. I'm just gonna really coat this thing. It smells so good. Highly suggest grabbing. I've been seeing Burberry in the grocery store more. If you've had any Ethiopian food, you have probably had Burberry spice. Thank you, son of a pizza man. Maybe you guys can go to sleep, like put this on when you're trying to take a nap. My voice needs to be calming because everything else is so loud with this microphone. So at least something in this room is calming. All right, let's get in there. So we got the pesto, we got the fish. We're gonna put it on here in a minute, and we got the pasta going. I mentioned Burberry spice is really good with butter, so I'm getting the butter ready to go. But I'm gonna use oil first because the pan's gonna be a little too hot while the fish is on the skin side. And then right at the end, I'm gonna pop in the butter to sort of baste it a little bit. pro tip. We're going to cook this 90% of the time on the skin side. And there was scales on this, but I just took a knife, kind of shaved them off a little bit. This is the ASMR portion of the... No, Gina, I was glad to use the skin on today for this recipe. So you bought the right kind. What's up, John? John was texting me when I wasn't on yet saying I was late, which is, you know, when you're late for something, it's always great when someone's texting you saying, why are you late? Nicole, I've been seeing the spice at the grocery store more often. I think that brand Frontier has it, but I have bought mine on the internet. I'll grab it after. This is better. I love this spice. And I need to think of more times to use it because every time I put it in a recipe, it's awesome. Pasta's just about there. Do you guys have one of these? Much better with sound. Is it though? There's a lot of banging around. So as always, you want to put the pasta into the sauce, pesto, whatever, directly from the water. And the water in this pot is actually, because of the starches, it's going to help this come together as a nice sauce. It's still a little clumpy right now. The water is going to be what helps it release a little bit. The fish is like popping hot oil at my computer, so that's always good. I guess it's better to hit my computer than it is to hit my face. Alex, I'll just mail my computer to you. So I'm just going to take this thing and dip it in and add a little bit more of that water. It's heavily salted water. This smells great. Looks really good. See it? I think we can flip the fish. A good spatula is missing always when I need it. It's my own fault though. I'm not trying to blame anyone else. Make that clear. So, this is great. Nice and crispy. I'm going to add the butter. And I'm also going to find a plate for this. We really like using plates in this house. That's what we call them. We have plates that have like a high lip. All we do is find new plates and use all of our different plates. Anyways, do you guys like plates? So that's the dish. Really excited about it. Trying to help you guys see better. Great. I mean, crispy skin. Very flavorful. I don't know why I'm saying flavorful. I haven't had a bite yet. Should probably take a photo. You guys hear that like howling in the background? I have no idea what that is. The wind? Maybe it's my beer fridge. The whistling wind. Well, John, if you serve the skin down, it would get soggy. This way it stays crisp. John, if you don't like the skin, that means you didn't have it right yet. Just come over, I'll make you some. Thank you, son of a pizza man. I am actually really happy with how this came out. The arugula in the pesto gives it more like a grassy flavor than the basil does. Basil almost to me has like an anise hint to it once you bruise it up and when you make a pesto out of it. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble now, sorry. Never mind, it must be great. I mean, when you have the skin, does it cut like that? The way it just kind of breaks, or is it kind of like stuck in your teeth a little bit and kind of like harder to cut? Because that's really the question. If it's cooked right, it should crumble almost like a potato chip. By all means, you guys come over. Sounds good. Have to have a vax to enter my house though. No vax, no entry. Sorry, John. Sorry, Fiona, but I don't know what to tell you. So, that's the dish. Delicious. Your salmon should be like that in the center. Pretty red. Not like pink all the way through and just falling apart. Code word. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in at the new time. Do you like this time more? Do you like the previous time? Let me know. Do you like this dish? Are you gonna make it? Let me know. And otherwise, I will see you next week. Hopefully